Hello, welcome back to Blenderian LIVENODING. The other day I was talking about this twisted unicorn horn and how you can make it this way using the circular array nodes from Johny. If you actually download the tool from GitHub, Johny Gizmo node assets, there's actually one node. It's called Strands Rope, and this node is actually creating something similar. You can kind of modify it. So I'm gonna show it to you. Once you download it, Johny's Gizmo, you can find this 3-strand rope, and let me open it. So this is how it looks. So the strands is using geometry nodes, of course, and if we take a look at the nodes, okay, it's looking something like this. 3-strand rope. Oops. Okay, so I'm using Blender 3.2 alpha. Maybe use 3.1 so it's a little bit more stable. So let's do this again. Johny Gizmo nodes, 3-strand rope. File, save as, study. You can actually use a pen and then just simply use curve and then apply the geometry nodes. I will probably show you to you in a bit. So geometry nodes. So this is the setup. So this curve, if we go to edit mode and we start drawing, we can draw rope. But this is of course something that we can modify. So there's control over the twist. So if you want to turn this into a horn of some sort, you go inside this node group, just hit tab. Now you can study how Johny created the curve. Okay, so set the spline resolution. Okay, resample curve, set the curve tilt, spline parameter length. All right, we could it's using curve to mesh with this profile curve of curve circle that's been instanced, and yeah, it's actually very similar thing to the one that's using circular array. Curve circle, you can have more, because if it's like a horn, maybe you have more than 3 strands, so you maybe want to have 6 strands of circle. So you can basically control some attributes there. I think what's missing here with Johny's setup is the curve radius. So set curve radius. Yeah. So we can control the thickness this way, and if this is supposed to be like a horn, we can use the spline parameter vector and just pass it. So use the curve float, plug the vector into the value, and plug this value into the radius, so we can control the horn this way. And then maybe you want to use like some kind of multiplier. So this is like a multiplier for the horn. So now we have a way to draw our horn. Let's see, delete everything, create a new strand. Actually, don't delete everything, delete the floor. Select our curve objects. Let's call this unicorn horn. Hit tab, delete everything, and just start drawing. Like maybe we can write blend full or something. So this is like I don't know. You can actually use this as a tool to generate like 3D artwork if you draw this on the surface. So whenever you draw something, you know it's gonna be on top of the previous geometry. It's definitely it's pretty crazy that you're able to do this almost in real time. It's pretty fast, and I don't know, it's a It's pretty weird. So if you, maybe you are like, maybe you are some kind of a person that's selling like a mythical unicorn horn, you know, you're like collecting this horn, and yeah, you can use your imaginations. But anyway, you're drawing a curve, and the curve will generate this unicorn horn. And this is I think it doesn't have the material that we need. I have the material from Sanctus library, and I want to apply it to this, and currently the set material is set here. I want to bring this out using group input, and I want to assign metallic gold rough. I like this. I assign it into this guy, but material is not assigned by default. It actually goes here, but because we are using geometry nodes and procedurally generate this horn, we want to reassign it here. So if we try to render this using cycles, okay, we have default light. We might want to have another sunlight, but maybe we want to use sky texture, so it's a little bit too bright. Add a bit of atmosphere there. So yeah, that's the result with the horn. Yeah, you can play around with the twists. Let's see, the twists have control, and if you want to have a little bit more detail, you can perhaps turn this into, you can actually remesh this maybe, if this actually works. Oh, okay, it might not work if your object is not solid. So this guy, this unicorn, we need to go inside, and with this curve thing, we can enable fill caps. There we go. Now it's closed object, so we can use remesh. Now it actually works. Usually after you remesh, it doesn't have the material, so just create a new geometry nodes. Once again, set material. So we are resetting the material using geometry nodes. It's really weird, but it works. So this is like a from Johny Matthews, and this is becoming like unicorn generator. So it's based on a curve, and then we remesh it, and we are turning it into this real solid objects. Of course, if you want this to be AR, you need to create UV and bake the texture into the objects, but you got the idea. So you can perhaps create a monkey head again. Since this is just a curve, I can just create duplicates, delete everything, just draw the curve like that. Oh, get a horn. The horn is actually the other way around. Okay, and it's a little bit too thick, so we might need to make adjustment there. Back to our horn generator, we might need to reverse this. Okay, the easiest way is just to use 1 subtracted by this value. And adjust the multiplier here. I might need to pass this multiplier outside. Anyway, let's redo this. Delete all the vertices. Redraw it. So it's based on this face that I click on. Oh, I know why. The light shouldn't show up because that will affect the placement of the curve. Well, yeah, it works. Anyhow, so this once we have this tool, right, next time you create a new blend file, you can create a curve like Bezier curve and simply append the nodes from Gizmo that we just created. Yeah, this unicorn generators, I think just append it, select this curve, geometry nodes, just reuse this unicorn generators. Okay, create the curve, just draw the curve. The bottom part, maybe the bottom part, or I think the way it's currently is we just maybe just need like some kind of additional deformer just so the curve is not fully straight. You can use noise to do that, just like what I did in the previous video. So yeah, combination of different techniques. This doesn't seem to bring in the gold material. Yeah, once again, metal. This time we can use maybe silver or steel, silver, rough. Assign the material, reassign it here. So we're gonna have silver material now. EV is actually really slow under M1 Mac. So, but cycle is really fast. So you can use cycles with the noise and sky texture. There you go. That's how we create unicorn horn using geometry nodes. So thanks again for tool by Johny Gizmo. He's on Twitter. Maybe we can give like donations. There's donation button somewhere. Yeah, he give this away on GitHub. There are other tools by other different Blender artists like Arindale's. So Arindale also made some tools. ETK, Arindale toolkits. I will have to study all this as well. There's also one from Bradley Animations. But all these tools can help you to create a more complex geometry nodes creations. So I'm only touching the basics, but I think even with just the basics and intermediate level understanding of geometry nodes, you can create something that's unique, something like 3D assets that you create. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.